Tomb KV9 in the Valley of the Kings was originally constructed by Ramses V, but Ramses VI finished its excavation, expanded it, and claimed ownership. Indeed, KV9 has a rather complex history, being the tomb of both Ramses V and Ramses VI, with the latter having the most significant impact. Its construction was begun during the reign of Ramses V of the 20th Dynasty, whose reign was rather short, around 4 years, between 1147 and 1143 BC. Subsequently, Ramses VI, who reigned between 1143 and 1136 BC, used it for his burial. He also decorated the new sections of the tomb with his own name and images, practically usurping representations and cartouches of Ramses V in the first 5 corridors. The tomb has a simple plan, essentially a straight line consisting of a series of descending corridors, which are decorated with funerary texts leading deep underground to the burial chamber. Meanwhile, the antechambers depict protective deities and symbolic scenes. The burial chamber, which is the highlight of the tomb, features an astounding astronomical ceiling and still has broken pieces of the sarcophagus. Although the tomb's plastering was not finished, its fine decorations and sunken relief walls are very well preserved, emphasizing astronomical scenes and texts, especially in the burial chamber, helping the king in his successful transition to the afterlife. Essentially, the tomb's design represents the pharaoh's journey, going down into the underworld, meeting divine guardians and overcoming challenges, ultimately reaching the afterlife. Extracts from the Book of Gates and the Book of Caverns cover the entrance corridor, illustrating the deceased's journey with the sun god Ra through the underworld at night, and depicting rewards and punishments in the afterlife respectively. The midsection of the tomb and well room include scenes from the Book of the Heavenly Cow. Meanwhile, nearer the burial chamber, the walls are adorned with extracts from the Book of the Dead, containing spells to help the dead king reach the afterlife safely, and the Book of Amduat, a guide to the 12 hours of the night, filled with gods, demons, and challenges. The circumstances of Ramses V's death are unknown. What we know is that his reign was relatively short, about 4 years. Interestingly, an ostrakon records that he was only buried in year 2 of Ramses VI's reign, which was highly out of keeping with Egyptian tradition that required a king to be mummified and buried 70 days after his demise. One reason for this delayed burial of Ramses V may be that his successor Ramses VI had his attention elsewhere, since he was engaged in expelling Libyans from Thebes. Meanwhile, he also needed time to provide a temporary tomb for Ramses V until plans for a double burial in Tomb KV9 could be put into effect. These are mere speculations, since we can never be certain. For his part, Ramses VI was one of the sons of Ramses III, succeeding his nephew Ramses V, and ruling for about 8 years. Following the tomb's plundering, the mummies of both Ramses V and Ramses VI were moved to KV35, Amenhotep II's tomb, where they were found in 1898 in one of its side chambers. KV9 seems to have been robbed shortly after Ramses VI's burial. Reports which date from Ramses IX's reign cite the interrogation of 5 robbers who took 4 days to break into the tomb. In the Greco-Roman period, the tomb was identified as that of Memnon, the mythological king who fought in the Trojan War. Consequently, it was frequently visited during those times. In fact, KV9 has been open since antiquity, since 995 graffiti left by visitors have been found on its walls, ranging from the 1st to the 4th century AD in Greek, Latin and Coptic, unfortunately damaging some ancient Egyptian scenes. The burial chamber itself is beautifully decorated with an exquisite double image of Nut framing the Book of the Day and Book of the Night on the ceiling. This awesome scene in black and gold illustrates the sky goddess swallowing the sun each evening to give birth to it each morning in an endless cycle of new life and rebirth, designed to revive the souls of the dead kings. The walls of the chamber are filled with fine images of Ramses VI with various deities, as well as scenes from the Book of the Earth, showing the sun god's progress through the night, the gods who assist him, and the forces of darkness trying to stop him from reaching the dawn. Interestingly, when the lower corridors and chambers of KV9 were being cut, the workmen accidentally broke into the rear chamber of KV12, a tomb whose owner is still unknown to this day. It appears that this latter tomb was intended for multiple burials of royal family members, akin to Ramses II's KV5. However, nothing more is known about it. With some of the widest descending corridors, long as shafts, totaling 117 meters in length, and beautiful decorations, KV9 is considered one of the most spectacular tombs in the Valley of the Kings. In fact, entering KV9 requires an additional ticket, but it's really worth it. Visiting this tomb is highly recommended.